Key concept 1.1, big geography and the peopling of the earth. Big geography, refers to the global scale of world history. Back then, hunter-foragers gradually migrated, adapting technology and culture to the new climates. That's the gist of this right here. Archaeological evidence indicates that during the Paleolithic era, and Paleolithic stands for Old Stone Age, hunting-foraging bands of humans gradually migrated from their origin in East Africa to Eurasia, Australia, and the Americas, adapting their technology and cultures to new climatic regions. When you look at this map here, you just need to understand that by 10,000 BCE, pretty much everywhere humans are now, they were back then. So humans have existed in these different parts of the world since 10,000 BCE. Homo sapiens originated in Africa, many people will guess, and we're still not exactly sure, 200,000 years ago. They left Africa by guesstimates 60,000 years ago. This is known as the out of Africa theory. Some people, whether you believe in evolution or in creationism, let me play devil's advocate here that you can argue both sides. If you believe in evolution, you can look at the empirical data that man evolved and came out of Africa, or from the creationist side, some people would argue, well, that's where the Garden of Eden existed, where your Adam and Eve are. If you look at some of the dates down here, in 1960, at the Olduvai Gorge, Tanzania, Louis Leakey found 2 million year old stone tools. One of the most famous discoveries was in 74 by Donald Johanson of Lucy, a 3.5 million year old hominid skeleton. Okay, hominid footprints or humanoid type footprints go back 3.6 million years ago, and in 1994 in Ethiopia, once again all of these are in Africa, a team of scientists found 2.3 million year old hominid jaw. In Chad in 2002, once again in Africa, possibly 6-year-old hominid skull. Okay, but the out of Africa theory is the one that's prevalent, and then man migrated to different areas around the world. Early humans adapted to their surroundings, from the desert to the forest to the tundra. Whatever type of climate, whatever type of terrain they were in, man did learn to adapt. These hunter-forager societies that man were in, let me go back one, excuse me for that, were egalitarian, and that's a term you need to know. That means equal. Men and women were considered equal in that time, and man and human was considered to be behaviorally modern before all this migration took place. Let's talk about a game changer. Go back to this slide. Fire. Fire is a game changer. Humans use fire in new ways to aid in hunting and foraging, to protect against predators, and to adapt to cold environments. This was a huge, huge change. Most animals are naturally scared by fire. Pyromaniacs or not, but man didn't invent fire. He discovered fire, and from that he discovered the uses for fire. Fire is used for warmth, fire is used for lighting, fire is used to cook food. Fire can be used in many, many different ways, some of them good, some of them not so good, as we see by ancient cave paintings here. Fire was a game changer for man, and he had to keep that fire going. If you've ever tried making fire in this fashion, you know it's not easy. It's darn near impossible. Some people in these small hunter-gatherer groups, their sole responsibility was to keep that fire going. Don't let it go out. Where did it first get started? Maybe lightning, forest fire. Naturally it occurred. Man was curious. He picked up upon it, and he used it to his advantage. That is for sure. Tools. Other animals use tools. Chimpanzees and other primates use rudimentary tools. Sea otters crack open clamshells while lying on their back with other clamshells. So the use of tools is not only for humans, but nobody uses them like we do. Okay, we use them better and more exclusively than any other animal. Humans developed a wider range of tools specifically adapted to different environments, from the tropics to the tundra. These tools were not super sophisticated, but some were used for cutting, some for scraping, some for piercing, but they were made out of other stone. They were made out of obsidian, which is like a volcanic glass. They were made out of animal skeletons. You know, these were pretty impressive tools that they used to adapt. butchery, meat consumption, extracting marrow from bones. They found evidence in some of these cave dwellings, and they had tools specifically used for that. When you talk about economic structures focused on small kinship groups of hunting, foraging bands, nomadic people that can make what they needed to survive. However, not all groups were self-sufficient. There was contact between groups of people. When they met other groups, they exchanged people. That's right, people. You take her, I'll take him. They exchanged ideas. They exchanged goods. And this helped them survive. Back in this Paleolithic society, these small groups were egalitarian. And by the term egalitarian, we mean equal. Okay, there might have been a little bit of a hierarchy, but for the most part, they shared in responsibility. They shared in work because they had to. They were small in number. Everybody had to contribute to survive. Everybody had to master more than one thing. They couldn't just do one thing and get by. There's no way. They were family and kinship related. That means that they were related somehow through blood, one way or the other. You couldn't support in this type of lifestyle a full-time leader or full-time priest or something like that. Everybody had to work. Everybody had to contribute, and that we know. Did they have some forms of religion? Yeah, we know that from their art, the way they buried their dead. We're not quite sure as to what it was. It was probably animistic in nature. They probably believed animals had some type of spirit or some type of special meaning to it. But women and men shared in both the hunting and the foraging. Okay, and you know, some people say this is the original affluent society, that humans lived much easier lives back then than we do today. They had a lot more free time than we do today, and that's right. I mean, they had a lot of free time. It was egalitarian. Society was equal, and they were family, and they got along, and they survived.